Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Techgig Webinar series, our endeavor to empower techies. We believe that sharing of knowledge is the key to enhance our skills and grow us as professionals. With this principle in mind, we have initiated a series of webinars conducted by industry experts to give you all a crisp insight of various domains. The topic of today's session is use of big data sources to solve challenges for banks and financial institutions. Start predictive analytics. Our guest speaker today is Mr. Abhaya Srivastava, Manager Risk Analytics and Basel Implementation at Essex Lake Group LLC. Abhaya, manager with Essex Lake Group, has over 7 years of experience in the field of risk, marketing, advanced analytics for different domains, especially banking, card and mortgage industry, covering healthcare and insurance as well. Prior to joining Essex Lake Group, he has worked with Inductance, where he led the marketing analytics team for largest Asian bank, participated as a lead modeler in Heritage Health data mining competition, where EXL was on first rank till that time, established the Basel II analytics team for largest UK-based credit card issuer. He was also in-house trainer for SAS modeling in Genpact. He has been speaker of other predictive analytics webinar series. Prior to Inductance, he has worked with Cogneltics Consulting, Genpact and Aspen Communication Private Limited. He is BSc Honours in Statistics, Gold Medalist from BHU and MST from IIT Kanpur. So without further delay, I introduce you all to our guest speaker. Over to you, Mr. Abhaya.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Mohini, for introducing myself. And so let me start with this session with what we are going to present today and what we will talk. So let me set out the agenda for today's session, that we should be on the same path and same understanding that what we are going to talk from right now to 45 to 60 minutes. I hope it would be helpful for you for your day-to-day work and for next assignment, and people who are working on analytics, people who are ensembling IT solution to analytics, people who are working on big data. And so the agenda for today's session is not about how to what is big data in details as such and how the organizations are handling it. My agenda is today to talk about big data, that basic concept of big data. What is big data? What is impact of big data on the organizations? What are the problems due to big data? How can we use big data? Rather saying it is a problem, we can say it is a boon for us. And my focus will be connecting big data to analytics solutions, how to generate the insights and solutions from big data to make a kind of fancy reports to our organization's leaders without delaying, so saving the time, optimizing the efforts, and providing the better solutions and enhancing the profitability. So to do this, what are the different tools and techniques, what are the different ongoing analytical models are going on, where the software is playing a key role, we will talk about these all. The domain which I will be covering will be mostly on banks and financial institutions. I have over 7 years of experience working with banks and financial institutions. I have seen lots of problems due to the lack of data. So for me, if we are getting a huge amount of data in a different way, in a variety of manners, I think it's a benefit for banks, it's a benefit for organization to handle those data and create some better insights to enhance the profitability. So we'll talk about big data, analytical solution, banks' problems and challenges, and at the end, how we are collaborating big data, analytical solutions, software solutions to solve the bank's problems and challenges, which are nowadays is a kind of, uh, a big tension for the bank's leader, that how to handle these data sources to provide a fruitful information to the bankers to play the key role to generate the revenue and huge profitability for the organizations. So I think agenda is clear. So let's move on the slide number 2. In slide number 2, it's competing on analytics with big data, and so I am on slide number 2. Here we can see that there are lots of newspaper cuttings, channels are talking about big data, books are getting published on big data. So lots of CNBC, Los Angeles Times, Fox magazine, Digital Digest book, data everywhere. The Economist is talking about big data. So everywhere we are talking nowadays about big data. So what is big data? How to handle this big data? Why are we talking about big data? Why it is kind of so making so tense to the industry that everybody, every organization is talking about big data, recruiting people, setting up the software instrument and talking about big data to develop a kind of product which can handle. So we can see that big data has become a business issue, or at least an issue that business people are aware of. Look at the coverage it's getting in the business processes, from Wall Street journals to the Financial Times to Forbes and Twitter. Why is it getting this kind of coverage? Because it has the potential to profoundly affect the way to business. The quote to CNBC really amplifies this. So CNBC channel is saying that data is the new oil. The Clive Hambly on CNBC told that data is the new oil. What does it mean? Data is a natural resources that is growing bigger. Like and resources, it is difficult to extract. It comes in many types or a huge variety. It is also difficult to refine or analyze. Many organizations do not even tap into these natural resources. They ignore data, or they just use it for one purpose. They do not know how to use for different purposes, or how to collect this data to get more information. If data is natural resources, what is your company doing? What is your company doing to capitalize the big data? This is the biggest questions nowadays. So why don't we use the big data to capitalize the information, to enhance revenue, to make more profit, and be on a secure mode to provide the best results to our customer and clients? So let's move on slide number 3. So we can see the transactional workloads versus analytical workloads. Two very different requirements for storing and processing data. So nowadays we are so used to work on the social side. We used to work using every transaction by cards, which we can say plastic, like debit card, credit card. So when a customer visits through the internet or any shops, they make a transaction, business transaction. Let's say you went to purchase a t-shirt. So everybody is storing data. So we can say we can store it as an item, cost, and customer. So next time where you go, we have the record as that Abhaya has purchased this shirt amount $34. This can be further used to identify the customer. This can be further used for the shopkeeper to see who visited what is the revenue, how much is he visiting to our shop, when will he visit next time, how can we promote offers, how can we do lots of sales and sales marketing through this customer. So we are storing lots of data. We can generate more columns and more information about that customer, by typing more information, and we can store in a data warehouse, kind of a small data set for the small shop. And when we collect this information and make this transaction level of data on daily basis, we add monthly data information, and we kind of create a kind of data warehouse. How to use this data? We go to business analyst, ask that we need a kind of complex query. This is our query, so we can ask any type of problem. Let's say sales and profit for shoes and belts for year greater than 2005. So the person who is doing analytics for us can provide a kind of very fancy and very mannerful reports to to clients, that this is the way you have, you can see about the customer, the question you have asked. So rather than looking and working on your mouse here and there, now I got a kind of very nice dashboard where I can exactly see how my shops is running, what is the revenue in each month, what are the year-wise information. So everything which I want to see in my business, everything which I want to explore, using that data, using that analytical person, we can get those information. It's only that you need to keep data, you need to keep an analytics expert, you need to keep a data warehouse expert and software person who can collate this information to provide you a very mannerful reports, which saves your time, which makes you to think how to enhance the business strategy, what kind of strategy you can apply further, looking at the report. So let's move on slide number 4. We can see that big data.